Hey everyone, before we jump into the podcast today, just want to let you know there is no Hack City this month, but instead we got something real special. It's called Late Night Reading Session with Mike Nguyen and Company. It's on Wednesday, November 15th at 10 p.m. That's right. Late night, real sexy. It's at Union Hall. Tickets are available now. You just Google Late Night Reading Session with Mike Nguyen or go to the episode description. There'll be a link there. Again, that's Wednesday, November 15th, 10 p.m., Union Hall. It's going to be real weird. It's going to be real intimate. Okay? Just pull up. Why not? See you there.
I went out with a group of friends and I drank some drinks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I kissed, but I created a situation so I could kiss a friend.
Wow. And welcome to another episode of the Asian Not Asian podcast. It's the podcast with all of your favorite Asian friends.
Okay. I don't know why you rapped so mutely, so quietly.
I've been listening to a lot of Hamilton,
Uh-huh.
you know, and he like does a lot of kind of like register changes like
Yeah,
that.
when he
Where
goes
it's like, James Vanderbeek.
Yeah. And does he go like this? Look at my son. Proud is not the word I'm looking for. I think it's so funny. I used to be a huge Hamilton fan in 2016, and there's just like some moments where he's just like,
It's
that's like the sound he makes.
Yeah.
To show devastation. Yeah.
I think that's why he's so good for Disney. He's also would be really good for anything with like Muppets. I could see him doing.
Why?
I could see him singing for Count Dracula.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. He can't really sing. That's why.
He's
a great rapper.
Great,
I guess. He's a good rapper, but like Broadway rapper.
Yeah.
But he can't really sing.
He's not like the best singer.
No.
We're talking about what's his name?
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yeah.
I mean, he's amazing, but
yeah, I agree.
Sure.
What a place to start. Okay.
Not like us. We're amazing singers.
We're amazing singers and
such
rappers
good singers
and writers
good rappers. That's
and
why we started
actors.
this. And that's why you're listening to this Asian Not Asian podcast
Exactly.
right now. The podcast with all your favorite Asian friends.
Yeah, your podcast with your favorite Asian rappers.
Although I have to... that's a little bit of a lie because your favorite Asian friends probably include more than just me and Jenny.
Yes.
But it's just me and Jenny today.
Yet again.
Again. We didn't mean to do that.
No.
We had a guest lined up.
Yes.
And this
I believe
person,
at 2 a.m. we received an email.
Yes, we got, because this person flew in from, I suppose they were doing a show in New Zealand.
Yeah.
And God bless him. He was like, I'm going to do the show in New Zealand, fly in, and then
immediately do a podcast.
Despite being like 10-hour jet lag.
Right.
So props to him. We'll have him on soon. Much love to him. He's not feeling well.
Yeah.
I wonder why. Probably from the 12-hour flight.
Yeah. 12, like 24-hour flight.
24-hour flight in the jet lag. So we'll have him on. It's all good. We scrambled.
We did scramble. We tried.
We texted so many people.
Yeah.
We texted Brian.
I only texted Brian
Park.
Yeah.
I texted SJ.
Uh-huh.
I swear to God, I texted her. And you know how it says delivered, right? It says delivered.
Right.
Like you get the red receipt. And then immediately it turned on to SJ has turned off notifications. I think she's like, oh, fucking Mike's texting me.
That is so funny.
At 10 in the morning.
Yeah.
Turn on silent notifications.
That's so funny.
I think that's what happened.
I mean, to get like, can you do this right now on a Saturday is pretty...
You know what I realized?
Bold.
We basically did a you up for podcasts.
We did. We did do a you up.
You up?
We did a you up.
So we were trying to scramble. We contacted a bunch of people. Some people couldn't do it. Some people really wanted to, but it's just too tight.
Yeah.
We'd have to be there at at Canal Street at noon. That's where we usually do it. I've packed my schedule full of dad things.
Yeah.
So I can't. Tomorrow I got to meet up with a high school friend for brunch.
Okay. Classic.
Yeah, she was my valedictorian.
Wow, a
right?
celebrity. Smart.
Yeah. White girl.
Okay.
Can't believe it.
That's crazy.
I think she's here. She's just straight up just gonna flex on me the entire time.
You are still friends with people from high school?
No. So here's the thing: is that's funny. Is me and her, we were never like super close, but she somehow found me, because she lives in New York, obviously, and she found me during when me and Fumi were doing a lot of Zoom comedy shows.
Okay.
And so she like suddenly appeared in the Zoom show, and I was like, oh my God, is that you? And she was like, yeah, hey. And I was so embarrassed about what she was going to see me do.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm a lawyer.
Yeah. And she was like, remember me? I was valedictorian.
Yes,
yeah.
I'm a lawyer. I live on the Upper East Side.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I do stand-up comedy.
Right.
I'm on Zoom.
Yeah.
But so our schedule's too tight to like move anything else around. I couldn't do it. So instead of being at Canal Street Market with a guest,
Yes.
it's just me and Jenny again.
Yeah. In your son's bedroom.
In my son's bedroom.
Yeah.
We are sitting next to his crib. You have your phone
I put my phone in the crib and I said he needs to rest. This is where I'm at right now.
They're cuddling right now.
They're cuddling right now.
Mr. Bang is is a big stuffed toast that is my son's best friend.
Aww.
And so the two of them can kind of hang out together.
That's great. I love that.
And don't tell my son that there's actually two Mr. Bangs, because he has a clone as a backup, which we keep on ice.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah,
that's the tips and tricks of parenting.
Yeah. There's it's very dystopian if you think about it. Like if this one dies, we just thaw the other one out.
Yeah,
and, he doesn't even notice.
Right, love it.
And Mr. Bang doesn't know that he's a clone either.
Right,
he thinks that he's the original one. It's fucked up. Anyway, so you're sitting in our little nursing. Not nursing chair, but it's like a chair to chill in. We got a whole bunch of books about airplanes everywhere. And we're going to talk about our chaotic weeks.
My chaotic week, your, I think, normal week.
Jenny's chaotic week.
I had a very chaotic week.
Mike's extremely boring ass week. Just some very quick things. In December, I think it's December 8th. It's the second Friday of every month. And it's at Union Hall in Brooklyn. Please come out to that. It'll be a lot of fun. Last time we've told you, we had Ronnie come by. It
was so fun.
And it's always a blast, no matter what happens. Also, if you're listening, I realize we've skipped a couple Patreons because for some reason the emails, I usually get an email when it's like, oh, hey, you got a new Patreon subscriber. I haven't been getting those emails. I don't know. Maybe I did something weird.
Yeah.
So we got a couple that I need to catch up on. And, again, Patreon is the best way to support this podcast. It means the world to us. Mm-hmm. You give us $1. I mean, that's $1 I didn't have.
Yeah. Hey, that's pretty good math right there.
Let me tell you something, okay? The only place where inflation doesn't happen is in comedy. Yeah. Because if you give me $1, that dollar has the same impact as $1 from 1905. Yeah. That's a fuck ton of money.
That is. For comedy, that's a lot.
Comedy dollar?
Yeah. Huge.
Massive.
Yeah. That's how I built all my wealth. Generational wealth in my Venmo.
I take that comedy dollar and I invest it directly into railroads.
Yeah. And it's paying off.
Oh, it's paying off.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
We're getting that Daytona, Ohio line up and going, and it is amazing.
Oh God, I can't wait to go to Daytona.
Please, if you can, hit us up on Patreon. That's patreon.com/AsianNotAsianPod. We give you a little shout out, which we're going to do now, to our new subscribers, and we give you a little backstory. So we got two. Let's go with this first one, Stephanie. I think this is the way to say it. Stephanie Xiong. It's an Xiong. Oh, I'm gonna say Xiong. Xiong. Yeah. This is a good old Stephanie Xiong.
Yeah. She makes eco-friendly tote bags out of recycled materials.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? Like woven plastic bags.
Yes.
Like upcycled t-shirts.
That's cool.
Yeah. She has like a really intense mullet.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but it's like cool.
So is this her main gig or is this like her side gig?
I think this is like her side gig.
Her side gig. What do we think her main gig is?
Her main gig is working in ad tech.
Oh yeah, there you go. There you go.
Customer service.
Yeah, I don't know what ad tech is. Every time I work in advertising and people are always like, I work in ad tech, and I'm like,
It's like I used to work in ad tech. It's like putting it's like getting clicks on your ads, stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And there's like a million different funnels and stuff. for how to get an ad. There's like tons of companies that own different parts of the funnel to get an ad on like in front of you.
Right.
So she works in one of the startups that works on one of the parts of the funnel.
Oh, well, Stephanie, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Stephanie.
No, I want to especially thank you for your advertisements.
Oh, okay. I was going to say
right?
for your upcycled bags.
No. Everybody's got upcycled bags now.
Mm-hmm.
I got so many upcycled tote bags in my closet.
Yeah.
But
you're over it.
an ad?
That's something that sticks with you for a lifetime.
That's forever.
Yeah.
I remember every single ad I've ever seen.
And you click on every single one.
Every single one.
Because you love it.
Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
Real talk. I sometimes do.
Why?
Because sometimes I'm like, oh man, like this is a good ad.
You're just like curious. Oh, you just want to support?
Yeah, like sometimes I'll get an ad for like I don't know, it'll be like, let's say I went to Nordstrom to look at some shoes.
Yeah.
And then like Nordstrom will like
show you those exact
retargeted
shoes.
ad on me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, that was a good job. And I click on it.
Oh my God, Mike,
Because-
don't support Nordstrom. They don't need your help.
Well, because I'd rather see an ad where I wanted that thing.
I see.
Than like, here's another ad for like, I don't know, like ball pills.
We're so reversed because I go bald pills or ball pills.
Hey, whatever you want.
Okay. I do the opposite where I go out of my way. Like even if I do want to buy it and I could click it right there and get there, I'll go out of my way to look for it so I avoid the ad so I don't click it. I will do whatever it takes to never click this.
You're always juking the algorithm.
Yeah, because I was like, I don't want them to think I'm a clicker. And start showing me stuff.
There's
I ain't no clicker.
On the internet, there are two kinds of people. There's clickers and non-clickers.
And I'm a non-clicker through and through.
So somewhere there's a board up somewhere like in a Google headquarters where there's a picture of you and me, and one says you're the non-clicker and I'm the clicker.
Yeah.
and like
and it's breaking down our characteristics.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, thank you very much for that. And then the other one we've got is Galen Wong.
Galen Wong.
What
a cool first name.
I think it's a beautiful name.
Gailen.
Yeah, Galen.
Oh, Galen.
En. Yeah.
Gallon?
Gallon? It could be Gallon.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Galen.
Galen. I like Galen. Okay.
I said Galen.
Why don't you take the lead?
Okay, this person works also in ad tech, but is one of the core services people. So is like, this person is like the CFO of a like small startup.
Okay, so they're like in the like the leadership team.
Yeah, they're in the leadership team, but they're like really like in making sure the numbers add up.
I see. Yeah.
So this person's just straight up, hey
like
man,
on Slack all the time.
on Slack,
Just adding numbers.
just like checking out like, hey, what's our income? What's our
Yeah.
accounts receivable?
Right.
Are we paying the vendors right?
Yeah.
Checking the flow for all that.
And what do they do outside of work? Rock climbing. It's rock climbing.
Rock climbing. Yeah, I'm gonna say rock climbing. I'm gonna also say I'm getting Bible.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe
Bible.
Christian
rock climbing tech person. That is
person.
a real thing.
That for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
This person is a real character now in our pilot.
Yeah. And I'm scared.
Too real.
Too real. Yeah, this person was my boss.
And since I'm in a very car mood lately, as we all know, this person drives a 2020 white Mercedes.
Whoa, money.
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say a C class.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know what that means.
Yeah,
Is it big?
It's not the big one.
Oh, it's a small one?
No, this is the coupe one. Okay, because like deep down they got a little bit of little swag.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So they're rolling up to the Bible study.
Yeah, to Bible study in their white Mercedes. C-class.
That's fire.
Wow.
Whoa.
Thank you so
very
much, Galen. You
much.
can give us a little more if that's the life that you're
What?
living.
Why don't you funnel some of that ad tech money illegally
right
over
into
to
here,
us?
Yeah.
Again, if you want to get up on this, it's patreon.com/Asian Not Asian Pod. And you'd be surprised how on target we are with our backstories.
Yeah, 100%.
Every single time.
Yeah.
Remember that other day at the show, somebody wanted to say hi to us, and that person was went to Berkeley too.
Yeah.
That's tight.
Go Bears.
Go Bears.
I know.
Yeah. And now I never give money to them anymore. So anyways,
I've never given money.
Yeah. Let's get into it this week. What kind of Asian were we this week? Between Jenny and I, wildly different.
We talked off mic.
Yeah.
Talked off mic, and we have very different different weeks.
Yeah. So
I think, Mike, you should start. What kind of Asian were you this week?
Okay. I was a rims Asian.
Okay.
Yeah.
For your car?
Yes.
Oh, God. It's car talk
Well,
again.
actually, hold on here. Let me take it back here. I was a... what do I want to call it? I guess like... Yeah. Okay. I don't know how to describe it, but car accessories Asian.
Okay.
Let me tell you that.
Okay.
So I'm looking for... My car doesn't have a backup camera.
Mm-hmm.
Partially, I think it's too old.
Mm-hmm.
And B, it is manual.
Mm-hmm.
And so there might be some issue with that. But it doesn't have a backup camera, and I really want one.
Yeah.
And so I've been going online, and I've been looking to see, can I install a backup camera into my thing?
Yeah.
And you can, but you have to disassemble the car a little bit.
What?
Yeah, you have to like take some of the panels off and then like get to some of the wires and like strip those wires and like tap into like the backup camera, and then you got to splice those things together using like a special kind of like wiring thingy.
Yeah.
And then it connects it to like the
and
backup
you can do that
camera.
yourself? You don't have to like go somewhere?
Apparently you can do it yourself. So I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos.
This is so Mike, yeah.
I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos. And I realized with the YouTube videos, what I'm trying to do is I'm just psyching myself up. Like, I can do this.
Yeah.
I can do
You're
this.
just trying to give yourself confidence.
I'm just trying to give myself confidence.
Yeah.
And I think I can do it. I'm actually not worried about the wiring part. I installed this light up here in front of us.
Really?
Yeah. And I had to splice that shit.
Okay.
And that shit was a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I'm very afraid of electrocuting myself.
Yes.
But I'll tell you this. I'm at the point where I am overconfident with my wiring ability.
Okay.
Because I know so little about it.
Got it.
You know? Like I'm like, oh, I did it once. I installed this light. It's so easy. It should be easy. Not knowing what I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Now, the part I'm worried about is the paneling part.
Okay.
I feel that I was never one of those kids where I could take something apart and put it back together.
Yeah.
If I took it apart, I couldn't put it back together.
That's me.
Yeah?
I can't even take it apart. I give up before them, like, whatever.
Years ago, when I was a little kid, I had this little, like, toy jet, right? And I took it apart and could not put it back together. I could not fit it. Well, I could, like, jam it back together. But it, like, to this day, traumatized me. I was like, I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
So I'm afraid that if I can't put together a jet airplane, a toy jet airplane, can I put together a 2014 Subaru Outback? I don't know. They make it online seem very easy.
I know. So what? Are you just going to do it? And then what happens if it doesn't work out? You're going to go somewhere and be like, help me out.
If it doesn't work, I have a couple options.
Yeah.
One is I'll ask a real man, aka my neighbor / landlord.
Okay.
He is an engineer type dude.
Got it.
And he's like a software engineer, but he's like just... He has the, you know... He's one of those dudes who like loves technical challenges.
Yeah.
So he is...
He's going to figure it out.
He's going to figure it out. He's dad. He's my dad.
Yeah, he's your dad.
You know? I also have another guy. He's like an IT type of dude. He like runs a like iPhone repair business.
Okay.
And he's very handy. He's like a really, really smart, like technical person.
Yeah.
So I think between the two of them, I should be covered. And if all else fails, I can go and talk to go to Queens and talk to a guy.
Yeah.
And have them
You'll
do
figure it out. But you have two dads to talk to.
I have two dads.
Yeah.
And if I need to, I can emasculate myself further.
Perfect.
And talk to somebody in Queens.
Great.
But we'll see.
Okay. We've had very different weeks.
Very different weeks. That was me. I was up pretty late for me. I was up until 10 p.m.
Oh my God.
watching these YouTube videos. And the dudes who are always doing this are always like, they're always in Florida. And they're always like, they're like in their garage. And just like, you know, putting in
they have like nothing
cameras.
else to do. I don't mean that as a drag, but I just feel like it's like people who have like, they're obsessed with cars because there's nothing else to do.
You know what it is? I think you might be right, because one of the videos I was looking at, this guy, he had not one, but two backup cameras.
Yeah.
He had a backup
It's
camera.
like, why not? Like
he put his car into reverse and he had two screens for two different backups.
Yeah. And it's like, for what? Go write a pilot script.
I see it. You know, if I had the space and the time.
I get it, yeah.
Listen, if I didn't have to do this fucking podcast.
Yeah. You'd be putting backup cameras on everything.
How many backup cameras I would have installed by
There'd
now?
be so many backup cameras everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
My son would have one on his crib.
Your son would
he'd be
have one.
throwing his crib or his stroller into back, and he'd be like making the beeping sound and shit.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I don't know if anyone's ever put in a backup camera. This is the kind of podcast where this is, by the way.
I don't like this direction we're going in, but here we are.
You don't like car talk?
No, I don't like car talk.
You know what? I had a fun idea. Was when you were on your way over here, and I was like, I was setting up the equipment. I was like, what if we do the podcast in my car?
That would be kind of fun.
It would
like
be kind of
driving
fun.
around. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I could drive around because it's manual and I have to hold the mic.
I would have to hold you or a mic like
You'd
this.
have to hold my mic,
Yeah.
or I could get a lav.
Yeah.
But that would be kind of fun.
That would be fun.
You can hear us like crashing and stuff.
It's like a pot. I just said it's like a podcast. I'm so sorry. I'm hungover. It's like like the edited like investigative podcast.
Oh yes,
it'd be
yes.
like that. Except for it'd be us like driving around getting a croissant or whatever.
But it would be literally comedians in cars getting coffee.
That's true.
And except that Jerry Seinfeld always drives in like fire cars.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, hey, my station
and we're
wagon.
back again.
And we're
in
back
the Subaru.
in the Subaru.
Yeah.
And it's still dismantled because Mike, remember from episode 39, he couldn't figure out how to put his tailgate back on.
Yeah.
So we just driving
So we're
around.
in that car again. Yeah. And it's just us two again.
And where are we? We are at Exxon.
Yeah.
The one on Fulton.
Exactly.
That's the only place we can go.
That's the fun stuff we could do in there.
So that was me. And if you found that to be boring, I don't blame you. Even though I find it to be amazing. But Jenny, what kind of Asian were you this week?
Mike.
Yes.
I don't know how to talk about it.
You look like a mess.
I am a mess.
I mean, your outfit is fire.
Thank you. I'm hungover as hell. How do I say this? I was a confident Asian.
There you go.
That's a positive
That's a
spin
good
on
way
this.
to put it. That's a good way to put it.
This is a positive spin. I once again don't want to go into too much detail about anything, but I went out with a group of friends, and I drank some drinks, and I think I'm in my hot girl era right now.
Yeah.
I think I'm like dressing the way I want to dress. Like I'm exercising every day. I think I'm just like feeling like I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
I'm getting a haircut in a couple weeks while I'm in Japan, and I think that'll really turn things around to the next level.
Oh man.
Or it'll take it down. Depends on how good the haircut is. But I'm like feeling weirdly confident these days and feeling like, yeah, I'm hot. And so that energy is just kind of been percolating. Plus I drank. And I was out with a group of friends, and I kind of proactively kissed. I don't know if I kissed, but I created a situation so I could kiss a friend.
Wow.
So that's where we're at.
Wow.
Basically had an intimate moment with someone who has been a longtime friend, which is an interesting experience.
How long have you guys been friends?
For a while.
Okay.
6-7 years.
Okay. So like even from the Bay Area days.
Yeah.
So this person came out.
Yes.
This person
lives here.
Okay. Who came out here first?
Me.
Ah.
Yeah. And
you guys have been friends like
we're not close, but
Okay.
we're like friends. Like we would hang out even back then.
I see.
But not like never like best friends or anything like that.
But have you guys seen each other fairly regularly, I guess?
It started this summer.
But
nothing like crazy.
Okay. And then
it was just like normal.
Just like normal.
Hangouts.
Was there in retrospect any I don't know, energy exchange? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Like there's vibes.
Yeah.
I've not I can't tell. I'm like really dull. Like my energy receptors are dull as hell when it comes to romance.
Yeah.
Like I really can't tell when people are flirting with me. Because I think I operate like no one's flirting with me.
Yeah.
Like I think that's like a confidence thing. I'm like, oh, who would be attracted to me? So I just assume no one is flirting with me, which is a defense mechanism for sure. I also don't think I'm that great at flirting either. I guess unless I have multiple cocktails in me, then I guess I'm great at it. But Yeah, I don't think I've like particularly felt anything. There were moments like years ago where I was like, huh.
Oh, really?
Yes. But it was so little that I couldn't you know what I mean? Where you're like, there's really not a lead here. You know, where you're like, is it in my head fully? I don't know.
No, but here's the thing. If you say that you are not good at recepting that and the energy got even to your rusty ass receptors, that must have been a real heavy. This guy's putting out, he's like taking his shirt off, getting out of a pool slowly.
And I would be like, what?
What?
Yeah.
This guy's so weird.
He's being really weird today.
Stop being so weird and flexing in front of me.
So yeah, I am dealing with that today.
Well, hold on. Can we talk about the actual moment?
Sure.
Okay. Set the scene.
Okay. This is so embarrassing. Basically, I can't remember details. Truly, I was like pretty drunk.
Okay.
But at one point we were just like alone, and I basically asked, have you ever thought about us like being more than friends?
Wow.
Or something like that. Or like, have you ever had
something
like
happening
a
between
thought
us?
of something happening between? That's what I said. Have you ever had the thought of something happening between us?
God, that's such a crazy question to ask someone.
Why?
I feel that is in some ways more forward than like going and start making out. Because I think sometimes if you, you know, even if your friend, if you sometimes you just start making out, it's just like it just happened. You know, like you're just like you're dancing or it's just like the mood and it's just like it's almost like a physical thing only, and you stop and it's like nothing else happens. But to put out you think ever something could happen between us?
Yeah.
That's like, it's not saying I'm going all in, but you're saying like I'm showing you some of the cards I have.
Yeah.
You know, where usually you don't show people's cards.
Yeah, I don't want to show my cards first.
Right.
So I wanted to prompt him to show his cards.
But you're like, you know, like now all of a sudden, you know, you're playing poker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
Whoa. And
So,
what did he say?
He said something along the lines of like, yes.
Oh, whoa.
And then kind of called back a memory that I don't think is real.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like we've kissed before. I was like, no. I was like, no, I don't think so. But like we kiss each other on the cheek.
Yeah.
I've kissed so many people on the cheek, especially when I drink. I'm very
You don't
touchy.
remember ever making out with him before?
No, because we haven't. Like I would have for sure known that, but I was kind of like, huh?
Oh.
And
I don't know, man. You're giving me unreliable narrator vibes.
no, I am very reliable, kind of. I think we like just like had a back and forth, and then we like looked at each other, and then it was like, okay, we just like
started making out.
Yeah.
See, as soon as I feel once because I feel sometimes a person could say, have you ever thought something going on between us? And the other person could say yes. And then let's just say this situation's happening and you know, you're the girl, and there's a guy. I could see a thing where the girl asked that and the guy says yes, but then it was a trap. Just to be like, and then
just
like
to see what would happen.
And the girl go, ew.
Or like the girl laid the trap.
The girl laid the trap.
I laid the trap where it goes like, have you ever imagined something happening between us? Yeah, that's disgusting. That's really disgusting.
Oh my God.
Oh my
Get
God.
Away
yeah,
from
get
me.
away from me.
Yes.
Oh, I can't even believe you would say that.
Yes.
Nasty. Vom.com.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like if it was the other way, if the guy was like, you know, guys, hey, you ever thought something going on between us? And then that I think is like a leading question for the guy, I think.
Why?
Because like I think a guy wouldn't ask something unless he was like, if you know what I mean.
I see.
You know? That's what I think. But I don't know.
Well, I guess I'm as dull as a man because that's how I meant it. There was no third layer.
Okay, so the say yes, and then the makeouts. Cool.
Yeah.
And then after the makeouts, was there like a follow-up discussion?
There have been a lot.
Email?
There have
Did you
been a
circle
lot
back?
there's a lot of circling back.
Circle back?
I think this is what I haven't like pursued anything with the friend for years. Yeah. Like I'm so old now, you know, like it's been so long since something like this has happened. That was such like an early 20s thing, you know?
That does feel like I don't want to say it's like a reckless move at all, but it is a little on the chaotic side where it's like, hey, we have this established relationship. let's blow it up.
Totally. So I've done that before.
Yeah.
But that was like truly years and years and years ago. Like it's been so long. And I don't talk to those people anymore.
Right.
So it's been interesting. Like I forgot how much talking there is to like for boundaries and like, I don't know, not boundaries, but just like, how do you feel about this?
Really?
Yeah.
I mean,
I do that a lot in general, but it's like, I'm doing a double here.
But I feel like
I think we're both being very like, we were both like, and you, how are you feeling?
Right. But I mean, is that, I don't want to say that, is that a new thing? I feel that's a very mature thing. Cause I could see where mature. If you're a younger person and you and your friend make out, there's no discussion.
Totally.
It's just sort of like, what's happening? And then you text your friends.
You could tell it's two people in their 30s because it's just like overly communicating everything. Like everything is just like,
is it all right if I take a look at your permits?
Yeah.
Are there permits that are involved? Yes, I do have those.
It was like truly like so much conversation.
Wow.
And then
was that awkward? Was that weird?
No, not at all. I love conversation.
All right.
My favorite thing is when people show all their cards immediately. Like I sit down, they go, here. That's like what I want. So it's been very that energy, and it's like also like this, like we've texted about it. Like we've like really been communicating. Like, how are you feeling? It's very mature.
Is this actually? Now that I think about it, is this maybe some sort of mature person form of flirting?
What, being checking in?
Yeah.
If you read the texts, you go, Jenny's really bad at flirting.
Oh, okay.
I'm just me like cracking jokes. It's like a defense mechanism, So yeah, that's like this just happened.
Yeah,
so who knows what'll happen? I feel very confident that we'll be fine.
Yeah, sure.
Regardless, it has felt very like natural and like so much conversation that it feels fine.
Yeah.
Which I'm very appreciative of, and I'm very appreciative that he's so nice, like just like a nice, good person.
That's cool.
But yeah, can you believe I prompted it?
Yeah.
I've never done this before.
Put it out there.
I can't believe that.
Whoa.
I don't know who I was.
Who are you?
I don't know. The other crazy part was I got recognized approximately 3 minutes before this happened.
Yo, maybe that's what it was.
It was a confidence of that.
I am so internet famous.
Yeah, and then
let's make out.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. I don't know if you've ever had racing thoughts before. Racing thoughts is something where you have one thought in your mind, and then all of a sudden there's another one, and then another one, and another one, another one, and it suddenly feels like your brain's kind of like running off with you. I've had that before. I had it, when I was having a lot of anxiety. And it turns out a great way to deal with racing thoughts is to talk through them. And therapy is a place that allows you to do that. It allows you to think about your thoughts, analyze them, figure out what's happening, and figure out a way forward. I've done therapy before, and it helped me when I had racing thoughts. It allowed me to kind of almost distance myself from my thoughts. It allowed me to kind of see what was happening and figure out what was causing them. If you're thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist. You can always switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Get a break from your thoughts with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/Asian today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Asian. What's up, y'all? It's spooky season here, and I have to ask you, what's on your horror movie playlist? Is it Halloween? Is it Nightmare on Elm Street? Is it Hereditary? Guess what? You can watch all of these on Netflix, but you got to use my favorite app of all time, ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN lets me change my online location and trick Netflix into showing me movies and TV shows that aren't normally available here in the United States, so I can get thousands of extra shows and movies. For example, last week I watched the original Scream movie. Drew Barrymore is so hot in it, and it was so easy. I just opened up ExpressVPN on my TV, switched my location to Canada, and one click, boom, hit refresh on Netflix, and it was there. If I didn't have ExpressVPN, I'd have to subscribe to other services or rent, movies on Apple or Amazon. With ExpressVPN, I've probably saved like $50 or $60 just in the last month, just by again using ExpressVPN to switch where my Netflix location is. And of course, it's not just for scary movies. ExpressVPN's got nearly 100 different countries to choose from. For example, you can watch Lord of the Rings on Australian Netflix, Top Gun on German Netflix, Parasite on Korean Netflix. It goes on and on. And ExpressVPN works on everything: phones, laptops, tablets. I have it on my phone, TVs, you name it. And it's got every kind of streaming service, Disney Plus, Shudder, whatever you want. So get your money's worth and get 3 months of ExpressVPN for free when you go to expressvpn.com/Asian. That's expressvpn.com/Asian. expressvpn.com/Asian.
So that's my big update as of the last 24 hours.
Is there going to be a flurry of text to the group, like back, are you guys going to go to your respective group sections? And
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay, fair.
We don't run in the same circles, so it feels not important. We only have a couple mutuals, so which is also kind of great.
Yeah.
A great amount of friendship.
Sure.
For this to happen.
Yeah.
Oh God, I hope he's not listening. This is embarrassing.
This won't come out for a couple weeks.
Yeah,
so.
that's true. Maybe by then we'll hate each other. We'll be enemies. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. How do you feel, with this new confident Jenny?
I think I'm realizing I'm hotter than I thought I was.
Hey. Whoa.
And that part of it is just being confident. Because I think I was operating this person's too attractive for me.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
You showed me a picture. I mean, he's a good looking dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you didn't think that.
Well, I always think that the hottest, I've been watching that documentary about David Beckham.
Yeah, I binge watched it on Sunday.
It's pretty good.
It's really good. I cried.
And I forget, because this is, he was he's my age.
Yeah.
Almost. And I do remember now how super duper hot he was.
So hot.
So hot.
Yeah.
He's probably the only hot man I've ever seen.
Yeah.
That's sort of the standard we're working with.
I see. So it's David Beckham or nothing.
It's David Beckham. If you're not David Beckham, you're just a regular ass dude.
Yeah, you're just another guy.
Just another guy.
Yeah.
And women, you guys are way better than us.
I mean, I don't disagree with you there.
There you go.
But yeah, I think I shoot myself in the foot a lot where I'm oh, why would that person ever be interested in me? I'm the funny friend girl, that's I think how I see myself or saw myself a lot. And I think there's a lot of factors that play into that. It's being Asian in a majority white school.
Yeah.
Being the funny, using my sense of humor as a not a defense mechanism, but to separate myself from other people.
Yeah, that's
there's
your identity.
Yeah, there's a lot of layers to my things. I think Japanese culture, you don't really talk about
how hot you are. Yeah.
It's just always well, if you'll take me, I would appreciate it. That language, you know what I mean?
I could imagine someone saying that in Japanese right now. Yeah.
It's it's always it's never oh, I deserve something. It's if you please, if you don't mind, will you marry me? It's that.
If your Wednesday's free.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot of layers to why I've never really felt confident enough to pursue things. I'm always someone has to pick me out and be you're the one.
Oh.
I never pursue things. And I think I've learned from this week that is truly in my head.
Wow. You bring up such a good point, because I was thinking about, the roles and to make it, Asian, not Asian.
Yeah.
The roles that I think whoever assigns to us, but then also the ones we assign ourselves. Mm-hmm. And the fact that you get these signals from the world that you should occupy a certain role.
Yeah.
And there are certain people who occupy other roles. So back to the David Beckham thing.
Yeah.
I was going down kind of a little bit of memory lane, and I started watching. You know who Toni Braxton is? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I was watching an old Toni Braxton music video, mm-hmm. and there, it's in the song, there's her, and then there's some hot guy, mm-hmm. and they're doing hot guy 90 stuff.
Sure.
Driving in a Jeep. He has a tank top on.
Yeah.
And baggy jeans.
Uh-huh.
And I remember, and it suddenly came to me that when I was watching these things when I was like 17, 18,
Sure.
and I realized that at the time there are dudes who a woman would describe as foin with an O. And I remember thinking, oh my God, I've got to become foin.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
I am so far away from this guy.
Yeah, you're like fine. Without an O.
exactly.
Yeah. It's like, he's fine.
He's fine.
You're
I was fine.
And you want to be foin.
Foin
Yeah.
with an O.
Right.
Maybe at the very least 2 eyes.
Right.
Fine. But I was like, just fine.
Yeah.
Lowercase.
Yeah, lowercase,
Period
one
at
I.
the end.
Yeah, yeah. Fine.
No.
Yeah.
You wanted to be foin with an O, maybe 2 N's.
Yeah.
Okay. And this guy was that.
Yeah.
And I was like, I am not this at all. Right. I don't have a Jeep.
Right.
Okay. I don't look good in a tank top. I don't have the cool hair where it's like, the hair at the time that was cool was kind of like the Justin Timberlake, like curly on top, shaved, close cropped, David Beckham look.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not this at all. So then I was like, I must be something else. I must be like, I don't know, the goofy, comedy relief guy in the music video. And so then I assigned myself that. And then like, I just carry that around forever.
Exactly. If you see yourself as that,
right.
You're like, well, I deserve what this role gets.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I can't pursue the hot person or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
The goofy guy doesn't get Tony Braxton. The foin guy
exactly.
does. Yo.
I think that's like what I'm learning is what I like, I keep doing that to myself.
Yes.
Like I always would be like, I love dweeby. I do love dweeby guys, but it's like, I was like, like who I deserve is someone who's like in this category of like really dweeby, nerdy, like
yes.
I don't know, just a very specific type. Because I thought that was like it for me. And then I'm realizing that's just me.
Whoa.
That's just me thinking I don't deserve more.
Yo, you deserve those foin guys.
I deserve a fine guy. I deserve a fine guy, but he's also really smart and funny.
We don't have those.
I want a John Hamm. He can do a comedy and a drama.
Well, we'll be keeping tabs on this. I
don't know how closely. I don't know how much more information I'll provide after this.
Fair enough.
But I just thought it was. A part of my brain is proud of myself for doing it. Part of my brain is a little bit anxious, spiraling.
Yeah.
That this was a silly drunk move on my part. And maybe I ruined a friendship.
I guess there is that other aspect of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, how will this change our dynamic moving forward? So there's like, there's 2 parts of my brain right now, and I'm too hungover to deal with it. I'm sure it will feel worse tomorrow when I'm sober and okay. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
Okay. All right. Well,
a spicy week.
That's a very spicy week. That's a really good one. And I will keep you guys abreast on whether or not I install my backup camera.
Finally, romance corner, and then car talk.
Car talk corner.
Maybe during car talk, I'll just leave. I'll go hang out with your son out there.
So one of them is like, I was talking to this fine guy. And we hung out and he took me to the beach. And we went to Paris and it was so romantic. Then I'm like, well, my struts are all busted.
Yeah, exactly.
So bought some more from Amazon.
Yeah, that's perfect. We're gonna get all the demographics listening.
Every single demographic
is gonna be interested in this.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should we talk about the culture article?
Yeah, we can do that. Want to do that? All right, so shifting gears here, we're going to be... We wanted to talk about this last time, but we literally ran out of time because the booth cut us off.
Shut down, yeah.
Literally cut us off, and I had to spend like $40, and it was a complete waste of time. So the article... this is going to be real heady, okay? But I thought that was really interesting. Let me pull it up real quick here. Okay. This is something I saw. It was on the New York Times, and again, real heady. So put away your horny Asians and put on your grad student Asians.
Yeah.
Okay. This
The
article,
Berkeley grads are here.
the Berkeley grads are here, and we're going to talk about this. And there will be a quiz at the end of the at the end of the podcast. So
we are your GSIs. This is only Berkeley talk now. I was going to start doing Berkeley references. We are your GSIs.
You know, for sometimes I'll tell people, oh yeah, this person, whatever, we had GSIs, and they don't know what GSIs are.
Yeah, because only Berkeley uses GSIs, that term.
Oh, really?
Yeah, everyone else calls them TAs.
TAs.
Yeah.
Okay, you get it. You know what we're talking about
Yeah.
now. So this is, again, came from the New York Times. It's from the magazine, and the headline is "Why Culture Has Come to a Standstill." A Times critic argues that ours is the least innovative century in the arts. Sorry. A Times critic argues that ours is the least innovative century for the arts in 500 years. That doesn't have to be a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
And just like, it's a very long article.
It's very long.
So I'll just read a couple things here, just like a couple of interesting quotes. For 160 years, we spoke about culture as something active, something about with velocity, something in continuous forward motion. What happens to a culture when it loses that velocity or even slows to a halt? Which I think is it's a pretty ballsy thing to say.
Yeah.
That that we are not, that there's not like culture happening or culture evolving.
Right.
And you read the article, like they kind of like talk about how for a long time it was like these really new interesting ideas would come out. And this person argues that like we're just kind of repackaging a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
Since the start of the 21st century, despite all recent digital accelerations of discovery and transmission, no stylistic innovations of equivalent scale have taken place. Yeah, that's pretty. Well, let's just start. Just like, do you feel? Because I feel sometimes culture has kind of stopped in some ways and sometimes not, but I don't know.
I know what they're trying to say, because if you compare it to like different styles of painting, if you like watch the evolution of like literally just paintings.
Yeah.
Of course, there was crazy changes. Like it went from, you know, like your classic, like whatever, Baroque, like whatever, to like suddenly like Cubism, modernism, whatever. Like it jumps, right?
Word.
And that happens pretty quickly if you look at the span of time.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you look at like really, you know, certain periods, it's like within 10 years, painting has changed a lot.
Right.
So of course there's like, wow, what an amount of change, whatever.
Yeah.
So I understand what they're saying. It's like, okay, yeah, our painting hasn't changed that much in the last 10 years or whatever. And I also understand like with the internet, like TikTok, you end up you can like revel in nostalgia more.
Oh, yes.
Like old things can come back up and it'll feel new rather than creating new things. Or with like a Disney, they're going to pump out sequels instead of new things.
Yeah.
So I understood the argument a little bit. At the same time, I was like, well, I sometimes wonder, because I'm like, do we hit a point where there's like it's just harder to make change? If there's just like more people who can make things and put them on the internet.
Yes.
Is it harder to like completely shift and do something completely new?
Yeah.
Does that make sense what I'm saying?
It totally does.
Like innovation gets harder as because we've innovated so hard for a reason. You know what I mean?
We innovate hard.
We innovated so hard for a long time that now we're like reached a point, and I'm like, maybe it's just there aren't a lot more. It's like innovation is just not as easy anymore.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff has been done.
I hear what you're saying. I always think about this. I always think like, you know, if I were the other week I had to like we had some high school students come to my workplace, and you know they were doing the thing where they're like trying to, you know, do you know, they had to put together like a business presentation. We're kind of helping them out with that, and wanted to talk to them, and they had like, you know, they all have iPhones and all that stuff, and it's sometimes crazy to me that like, yes, like this generation is like going through and experiencing all this stuff, but there's a lot of stuff where it's really the same as when I was in high school. And that was like so fucking long ago. Like to your point about, you know, like we've innovated a whole bunch and there's like less innovation. So you think about like, let's say TikTok, right? That's like the big thing. But TikTok, that's just a video.
Yeah.
It's a short video.
Right.
That's like very catchy, but it's just a video. Or you talk about, I don't know, sliding into DMs. That's just texting.
Yeah.
We've had texting.
Right.
I've been texting.
Right.
You know, we had stupid instant messenger when I was in high school too. You know, like I remember when that first came out, and everyone was like, "Holy shit, that was like a big deal." They made a whole fucking movie about it.
Yeah.
You know? And so it's like, what is the thing that they have that we didn't have that is like truly different? You know? And I was I mean, it's more addicting, you know, and it's more ubiquitous.
It's access to information,
right?
And each other.
Yeah.
I just watched 8th Grade this week for the first time, and it is wild to think that 8th graders are actively posting on Instagram. And this is made in 2018, so it's probably a lot worse now.
Oh, yeah.
But I was like, oh man, their brain chemistry is probably legit different. Because they're just constant. It's like before, when I was 13, I would just go home and then like be at home. You know what I mean? Like I was at home and maybe doing AIM.
Yeah.
But it was not like, oh, we're posting what friends I'm with all the time or whatever. Like it's like more performative all the time. There's that, but that's different than I guess it's different than culture. Culture here is like, to me, what he's talking about is like painting. Books, whatever.
That's true.
Yeah. What I was gonna say is like, I was talking about this with someone who works in video games about this article. I was like, he doesn't reference video games at all.
Oh, good point.
Which is like like interactive art. Maybe he doesn't think it's art. But I was like, that's like a crazy thing that we can do now. They like literally build out storylines that you get to like travel through.
You get to like work through.
Exactly. And I was like, that's like a crazy new thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was like, maybe he was just thinking about paintings and music.
Right.
But I was like, what about the other stuff?
Yeah. I mean, the one area he does admit where there has been innovation, and this is like a huge one, is hip hop. Yeah. Like that is like completely new. That's like if you took hip hop and transported it back even like 100 years. Yeah. People are like, what the fuck is this? Right. You know, let alone like 200, 300 years or whatever. It's like way different. Whereas I think like almost other, you take a painting and you take it back a couple 100 years, you're like, oh, it's a painting. Right. It's like a unusual subject, but like, so, yeah, I think it's a pretty wild claim to say that we haven't had innovation. Yeah. But at the same time, there is something where like people like you and me who quote unquote make culture. Yeah. And I felt gross just saying that out loud.
But we are. At the end of the day, we're culture creators.
We're culture creators, but like there is something I think where you and I feel like, is there something new that we can do? And I am certainly not smart enough or creative enough to figure that out, I don't think. But at the same time, I haven't seen something where I'm like, oh, wow, that was a really different movie. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like the film techniques he says are kind of the same from like, I don't know, the 50s. And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of true. Or
I guess, but then I think of an Everything Everywhere and I'm like, that's true. Imagine if someone in the 50s saw that. They'd be like, what the heck?
First of all, why are there so many Chinese people all up in this movie?
And why are they speaking English?
Yeah. And why? Who is that?
Yeah, exactly. But I was like, that... to me, I was like, that's a crazy movie. Yeah. It moves at a speed that's unbelievable.
It's such a crazy movie.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm like, okay. Yeah. What else do you want?
I don't know.
How many different shots different techniques can we come up with? You know what I mean? I don't know. What do you want, sir? That was me reading the article. I'm like, what do you want more of? Yeah. I don't know how to prove you wrong.
Have you ever watched one of those like really artsy, non-linear movies? Like a crazy
probably not.
Yes.
Because I would give up 30 minutes. I'm like, this is what a waste of my time.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll watch one if you have a recommendation.
There was a couple. I mean, there's always some that are coming up, but almost by definition, they're unwatchable.
Yeah, because that's like the whole point.
The whole fucking point.
I hate when it's just like the whole point is that it's horrible and confusing, and you're like, what?
Yeah, but see that. Yeah, see, so that could be an interesting thing, I guess. Maybe stuff that's like on purpose horrible. Yeah, that would be an interesting thing because so much of what we put out now is about making it as watchable, clickable, likable, whatever, shareable, grabs your attention as quick as you can. Yeah. And to put out something which is like on purpose bad, quote unquote bad, I'm sure someone, there's no way I thought about this. I'm the first person to ever say this. Right. But like that, I guess that could be cool. But at the same time, then by definition, this sucks.
Right. Exactly. And like, so what's the point?
What you trying to get at, boy? Yeah. Listen, anyways, the most innovative thing is this podcast.
Yeah, exactly. I'm watching West Wing right now, so that also is pretty innovative.
You liked it? With the walk and talk down the hallway?
I love it. It's so soothing.
Yeah. It is pretty cool. Have you ever?
It's so well written.
It is really well written. Yeah. Yeah.
I've never seen it.
You never seen it?
No, so I'm watching it now, and it's like my comfort watch.
It's of a very specific era too.
Yes, and it's like when government was somewhat functional, you know, and like there was morality at play still. I was like, that's nice.
Yeah, and I think it was a Bush era thing, right?
It was no, it was
it Obama
Clinton era.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ah,
90s.
that's what's going on.
I think
okay.
Late 90s.
Yeah.
Great show. That's when culture ended. West Wing.
Like we're just bringing up like things we're currently watching.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh, have you guys seen Seinfeld? So cultural.
So cultural. Yeah, that's all I can provide right now. My hungover state.
I do think this podcast is pretty banger because we started off talking about backup cameras. Mm-hmm. Then we went and talked about, can two people who are friends be more than friends?
Okay, sure.
And then third, we talked about culture.
Yeah.
You want to talk about a podcast that covers literally fucking everything?
That's here.
That's us.
That's us.
Yeah. So thanks very much for listening. Just thank you.
Yeah, thank you. We'll have a guest again soon.
One day we'll have a guest again. But until then, just follow us on Instagram at Asian Not Asian Pod, and you can find me there at Nice Pants Bro.
I'm at Jenny Arimoto.
I'm almost at 10,000 Instagram followers.
Whoa!
And then I can finally quit.
Okay, nice.
That was my goal.
Good.
10,000 and then I'm out.
You're almost there. Let's do it.
Please.
Let's do it.
Let's let it end. I'm so tired of doing... the other day I had to do recording.
It never ends, let me tell you this.
Oh I feel so stupid doing... I had to close the door and my wife is like on a call with like, important clients. And I'm like, I have to make content.
Yeah.
I feel like such an asshole.
I get it.
Please
That's
end
me every
the
day.
suffering. And until then, though, we love you. We'll see you next week, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.